Comrades, welcome to Quamfy Show episode 29. Today we're going to have a look at the Bitboy video. He made an update a couple of days ago. We're going to have a little stab at the gem that he created. I think it's a pretty good video. A few nuances. We're going to grab some bits from that and have a look. R3 tweeted something on DTCC. What is DTCC? We'll explain that to you in this video. Fnality is also connected, which is really interesting because Gilbert once stated we talked to Fnality a lot. And there was an announcement for a meet or a webinar or something next week. We're going to have a look at that as well. And that's going to be a pretty full show as it is. Tim, how's life, man?
Life is okay. Same. Well, not really the same as last week. Last week I came back from... Oh, no, that was already a week before that. Whoa, it's going really fast. No, that's okay. Tomorrow I'll be traveling to Germany on another holiday. It's a long weekend in Germany, so I'm really looking forward to that. The neighborhood of Cologne and like the Ruhr area in Germany. Looking forward to that. Personally, everything is okay. It's just a bit hot over here where I'm recording. And yeah, just another week of price action. Another week of summer. Everything's good. How's in your end, Jarno? How is it in Scotland? We saw you. We saw the snapshots of you in the kilted kangaroo last week. But how's life?
Scotland was insane. I was staying at Bev Dowie. You can see him in the video of last week. Yeah, it's such a different culture compared to the Netherlands, man. So yeah, they live in the pub. And, so we thought it'd be only fitting to actually record an episode there, which we did. It's a little bit noisy. Highly recommend watching it. There's some good information in there, and us drinking some pints. So it's a little bit chaotic from time to time. But if you're down for that, go check up in the charts. I don't know how these things are called, the notifications at least. But yeah, man, no, I got back last Monday night. My bag wasn't there, which was really annoying. I was pretty fucking pissed. In the Netherlands, I landed on Schiphol. There were strikes going on in the past, and they have some personnel issues. So there's tons and tons and tons of unclaimed luggage because that was simply not unloaded or too late or sent to the wrong platform, whatever. So I was like, oh, fuck that shit. They messed my stuff up as well. So I was making arrangement, lost luggage, etc. And this afternoon, oh yeah, that's really nice. I got a nice little jab in my hand. I have apparently a trigger finger. But then I got a call that my luggage was in Scotland still. Apparently, I put one of my e-cigs in my bag, and that's a big no-no. You can't have lithium-ion batteries in the hull of a plane because lithium-ion is pretty dangerous if those things catch fire. So I am the fucking idiot, and yeah, just careless, chucking things in my bag to leave, and accidentally dropped that thing in. Didn't think twice. Even put it on the manifest of everything that I lost. Aromax Power Vaporizer. And even then, it didn't just dawn on me that was most likely the problem. So I held my bag back, and now I'm waiting for my bag. So I'm also on a camera. That's not ideal. That's why the lighting is fucked. And I'm just tired. I mean, it was a hell of a freaking ride there. Last 4 days were almost a blur, which is good and bad in any way you look at it.
Back to reality.
Yeah, man, and the family life is kicking me in the ass again. 2 children and a dog. It's quite a change of pace. But besides that, it's all good, man. It's also quite busy with the Quamfy show. We recorded yesterday the Dutch episode. Today it's Wednesday. So usually we record this on Thursday, but due to Tim's travels, we moved it up a day. Means you're gonna have 2 late nights. And, it's gonna be all fine. We got a dress rehearsal yesterday, so let's just jump into the business, I think.
Sure, and we're doing that a couple of minutes earlier than we do usually. It's a 5-minute mark this time.
Oh my god! It's got to be a short episode, ladies and gentlemen. Pace is in.
I doubt it. I mean, yesterday Jan and I predicted that we would get a short Dutch episode.
Oh, €2 gained since yesterday. Woohoo!
Bumpy.
Inflation correction. What?
Yeah. But at the end of the day, we still recorded for 75 minutes, and sure, we're talking about Island Boys, those degens in the pool. We got demonetized because we showed you the video. We're not going to do that again. We're not going to make the same mistake. We were also talking about yellow Hummers.
Yeah.
Oil tankers. It was kind of a messy episode. We did address some interesting parts, and we are more than eager to do the same in English right now with you guys. So it's going to be a very interesting episode once again, and I'm just really happy to have Jarno back. So we have normal sound again. Let's do it. Let's look at the price chart first, as usual.
Yeah. So what we have here is a general uptrend on the
daily. Yeah.
From the low at €108. It's now up to 112.
Oh yeah, dat zeer.
And on the 7 Tagen, now on the 7-day, it's ranging. So we're pretty much at the same point as we were last week. Some volume fluctuations, which is interesting. Curious to see what that is. And on the 14-day, we're just shit out of luck. So we're making kind of higher lows, and well, might even be the breakout that Whiteman alluded to this morning in the Dutch Quant group, which would be really nice. Very untraditionally, I moved my table closer so I can sit on my ass. I'm getting old, people. Freaking 4 days of partying. I need a week of recovery. So yeah, what are we looking at? No one knows, man. No one knows. But, if you got to look at what we have to bring in the episode today and what Bitboy has to say, could go anywhere. But in my opinion, up only, obviously.
To be fair, around this point last year, I think exactly a year ago. Oh shit! I just realized I forgot.
Exactly a year ago, we were.
I just forgot something. Huh?
No, we were high. We were 150 back down. 165. 26th of August. 174. What's up?
No,
am I doing it wrong?
No. I think exactly a year ago we were around the €130 mark, and that kind of marked a low back down, and then we started pumping towards September 11th. Those were the most epic days in QNT history. That was insane, that pump.
For sure. Look, if we go back
straight line up on the September 5th, I'll never forget.
Yeah, no, we were. Yeah, keep going.
I'll never forget that night. That was insane. We'll get there in 2 weeks though. But
yeah, so if we go back to the 10th, then we were at 130. We went on the 19th to 157, and then we were at September 4th, €157, and then we topped out on September 13th. So let's see where we're heading. So yeah, well, that's the price discussion. You want to dive into the inflation bit now? You want to keep that for the end?
I think we'll keep it for the end. Let's let's begin with
good old Bitboy.
Yeah, because that is something that deserves attention.
Yeah.
And not because of negativity. We actually think it was kind of positive, and we'll tell you why.
Yeah, you're gonna kick off with why we think it was positive, or you want to just give me? Let me.
I mean, I can give you the TLDR. I think he did make some very good points throughout the entire video. It's an 8-minute video, 8 minutes 30 seconds with 1 minute of ledger shilling, so like a 7-minute video in reality. But he does make very good points, and in this part of this video, we're gonna show you the things that we noticed and we think need clarification,
Or that are
and
really good.
or that
We
are
also
really
got,
good.
yeah. Do
I
you have the
still have my
timestamps from
notes.
yesterday still?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
good
still
job, man.
here on my desk. Yeah.
Oil machine, there we go. Okay, so he has a couple of chapters, and here, hold on, let me grab them here. So the chapters are the introduction, what is QNT, the quant price, the overledger tokenize, quant in Latin America, the ISO 20022 compliancy, okay, and then the conclusion. We got this bit set up here on the 1 minute mark. Yeah, it's 50 seconds. I'll give you the additional 10 seconds as a tip. Let's have a look what he has to say.
So in case you're new to Quant, it's a blockchain agnostic project that's attempting to fix interoperability with its Overledger gateway. In order to use the Overledger and have the ability to build projects on multiple blockchains, companies need to buy Quant and hold it for at least a year. Since its inception, Quant has formed exciting partnerships. Oracle for startups in 2019, which allowed Quant to gain new clients, financial payment, and energy sector. And the LAC chain in March of last year.
Okay. So this first bit, I think a pretty decent introduction. I want to add that Bitboy right here has actually managed to compress a lot of information and partnerships, in my opinion, in 8 minutes. He goes through it pretty quickly.
Impressive.
Yeah, he goes through it pretty quickly. He has some interesting jokes, some nice puns. I can also always appreciate that. We're about the same age. And
yeah, do you feel any do you identify with him?
well, age-wise, he's probably also what, like 37, 40?
Okay, but I see people my age who I don't really identify with, so
No,
can
I
imagine
don't know if
that.
I identify with him. I think all the puns and shit. I like that. That's
Oh,
why
okay.
I. Anyways, let's move on from the comparisons between Bitboy's and mine. His beard is much better than mine. Gotta give him that.
Sure, yeah.
But he is oversimplifying a lot of things, and I think he does that on purpose. I'm not saying that he is in the know on everything, and one of the things that points that out is that he claims in this case that companies actually buy QNT and hold it themselves, which is obviously not the case. Preaching to the choir here. We said it in Dutch as well. Thought we throw that in too. So what is going on? Yeah, enterprise. They don't have to know about the token even if they don't want to. So what they do, they just pay, as we pay Microsoft for a license, they pay Quant for a license. The license is 1 year. Quant converts the license fee that has been paid into QNT. Apologies. And they lock that for the duration of the year. So it is not correct that enterprises hold the QNT themselves. And that is one of the reasons why Quant will succeed while a lot of other projects won't, because the simple fact of the volatility of a token makes it highly unattractive. And we alluded to this yesterday as well. The new MiCA regulations will require in the future to have a 1200% buffer for your crypto holdings. So if you hold Bitcoin, the volatility is manageable, I think. But if you own QNT and that train goes and it leaves the station, could very well be that you need to have like what a million in reserves right now, or as backing actually, and that needs 100x in the coming months, which is obviously a ridiculous amount of money. So no enterprise needs to bother itself with buying tokens, sourcing tokens. It's one of the biggest forms of fund that we have seen in the last year. Everything is sorted, as confirmed by Gilbert under a month ago. Everything is sorted by Quant Network. Yeah, Tim.
Exactly. Yeah, sorry for interrupting you. I tend to do that with everyone. Well, and watch your video on it, with Coinbase custody, because, well, Gilbert obviously stated in his latest messages on Telegram that well, the team handles, and actually they didn't even only state it on Telegram. They also confirmed that in the email communication with us, that they take care of QNT, that clients buy through whatever source they use, whether that is fiat currency or QNT itself or a license. That gets handled by the team, and the team doesn't do that on their own. They are probably using Coinbase custody for that. And we made a video in the past where we gave some pretty convincing arguments as to why we think so, and we'll link it. We'll link it in the top of the screen.
I think the problem with that is I can't remember, because I looked up which video that was. Maybe one of the viewers knows. Let us know in the comments. Because we haven't labeled it as such, because I've been looking for it, couldn't find it. But what we can do is we can actually do a custody solution special. I think that will be interesting, because I think
but we
I think now listen, in the future, nobody, well, the vast minority is going to be using a ledger, but most people will simply do the same as they do now, and they will trust somebody else with their coins. Yeah, we are the exception. So in my opinion, almost all exchanges are going to offer some sort of custody solution, obviously for a fee, and then it will be your coins, same as with Coinbase. We did some digging, don't have the sources with me right now, but they are liable for everything that they have, and you own everything. That's kind of the bottom line. And other exchanges are going to offer that as well, because nothing can go mainstream if you need a fucking 2FA device that is offline, of which you need to store your 24 words or 25 if you want on a piece of fire resistant steel in your basement. It is not. Okay, so we had some technical difficulties, but we are back, and I was talking about how custody brings a lot of benefits, and how we should actually make a video on custody solutions. We might want to do that in the future. For the sake of simplicity and not repeating myself, because I cannot actually remember what I already spoke about on that topic, let's continue with the Bitboy video. Let's.
Sure. I can give you a brief recap though, because we were talking about Coinbase custody, and the fact that lots of people will probably not be using their own ledger in the future. They will probably be using a centralized service that's gonna store their crypto for them, and very rightly so, as you could just see with us having technical difficulties. If something goes wrong, if you fat finger somewhere, everything is gone. Do you really want to have your net worth there? I wouldn't personally. So think of it.
Well, I would, and I do, but the vast majority of people, without sounding arrogant, should simply not do that. It's simply an unrecoverable error if you make one, and just shuffling around millions on a day-to-day basis. People specialize in that. They have actually done that a lot. They studied for it, and in this case, Quant Network are in the business of providing interoperability software. They are not in the business of managing tokens. And there's also third-party auditability and all these things going on. So enterprises don't buy the tokens. They do not hold the tokens. Quant technically doesn't even buy the tokens either, but they allocate all the fees that are paid for licensing. And in our opinion, and we do think there's evidence, Hungarian will come on the show soon, we hope, to elaborate on this a little bit more. But Coinbase takes care of all of this for Quant. And I suspect in the future, we will also see the SDXs, the Coin Metros, maybe even the Binances of this world, provide these services either for businesses or for us, the crypto schnitzels.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. Agreed.
Well,
next point. That was a 3:50. So
am I still here? Yeah.
I can still hear you.
Yeah.
I'm still here.
No, you said 3 minutes 50, and I was like, oh shit,
Oh,
it's internet fading again.
No.
3 minutes
3 minutes
50,
50.
right?
Ja,
Yeah,
3 minuten
50,
50.
right. All right. So this is about LangChain, and LangChain has been beaten to death as well, not only by us, but by just about everyone. So we are back once again. We have determined the issue. It is my internet provider that is causing all heaps of trouble all throughout the Netherlands at the moment. So this was the second breakdown. Anyway, let's move back to our intended programming. We were having our good old friend Bitboy having a little monologue on the LangChain.
Yeah, it's around the 350 mark. So if you can go to the video, share it.
I was watching it on my own. I'm sorry.
That's a pretty big one in my opinion. But a few news articles came out recently detailing more about Quant's exciting partnership in Latin America. It seems that one of the biggest challenges facing entrepreneurs in Latin America is just how long it takes them to get paid. People have been waiting weeks for payments, and then they have to convert those payments into their local currency. With inflation being such a big problem basically everywhere, but especially in Latin America, this can be a huge problem. If your item is worth a certain amount when you sell it, and then a few weeks later it's worth much less, that's gonna hurt business. But Quant and the LAC chain want to change this. Now, the LAC chain integrates the blockchain into the core of the Latin American banking infrastructure and allows people to be paid in a new digital Latin American dollar. So people can set their prices in this new digital currency and then redeem it for their local currency by just using their phone. It's better, much faster overall. LAC chain and the digital Latin American dollar is also cross-border, so this is going to open up a whole new international market to Latin American entrepreneurs.
Okay. So this is, to most of you guys, known information. I think he nails it on the head here. I think he cuts down to the chase now. Yeah. Is that how to say it? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And he points out what the problem is, and especially in those countries where you have multiple countries with extreme inflation rates and people often getting paid in dollars. We all know that the, how do you call that? Is that faster payments? No, that's what we have in Europe, but they have payment
SEPA.
systems. Yeah. So that can be instant. So if I transfer money to Tim, it's free and it's instant. There are some other countries that are joined with that as well. They do not have a thing like that over there. So if you're a coffee farmer or whatnot, and you sell product and you're waiting to get paid, and you're getting paid in this, so you want to convert it to that. Usually it's inflation. It's very rarely deflation. And if things take 5 to 7 business days and cost you about 10 to 12%, just to transfer the money from A to B, let alone transfer your money to your local currency, that's just a shit show. And so what they're doing in Latin America, as you all well know, is they're doing everything with cell phones, with mobile phones. Phone providers put up their networks. They do that because they benefit from it naturally. And Quant provides interoperability with the LangChain, and it's even bigger and more than what is being presented here. But this is a very accurate and nice and compact depiction of what is going on. Tim, do you want to use this bridge to dive into inflation? I'm going to ask it again. Or you
No, because we still have another point, and that's at 650. But
yeah,
to add to this, well, I think LangChain is obviously an example we use over and over and over again, but I never realized the fact that these instant settlements that the Latin American dollar and, well, the entire DLT infrastructure will provide, it's actually really helpful for, well, businesses and people living there, and because it's so normal to me that things are settled immediately. I just didn't realize that use case. So
yeah,
it's a
but
good
it's
example. And
it's the same with Scotland. I went to Scotland. And in the Netherlands, I always pay with my phone. I never bring my bank card, but I pay in euros. We're in the Netherlands. Scotland is in GBP.
Yep.
So the ING bank, which I'm at, they charge, they convert at the Visa exchange rate because of my payment plan, whatever you want to call it. If I pay there, I can just pay with my phone. I have to accept that, and I need to tap the device twice. They just convert it instantly, and they add 1.4% for their risk, because there is still a wee bit of time in between the euro, or in this case, the GBP to euro transition. But thank God for our economies, 1.4% is not common in a day.
No.
But if you're in South America, well, that's I don't have the numbers. You can imagine they're potentially pretty hefty, especially if you take it over a week. I mean, even the dollar fluctuated multiple percents last week. So that's one thing, and the other thing is cash. And a lot of South American countries are relying on cash at the moment. That's also usually a big reason for inflation. But if I want to withdraw cash in a foreign country, they add an extra 2.5 euros to every cash withdrawal, which is obviously to cover their cost for transporting the money, creating the money, and all those things. It's not ideal. It works here in South America, if it exists at all. It doesn't. So everybody is looking at them. Everybody's looking how that will go, and what solution will be used. And well, they say there won't be single winners. And I think that will be true. I think because of the multi-chain idea, that will be the future. But the interoperability providers right now are few or far in between, and Quant is pack leader without a doubt.
Exactly, and that's the beauty. Now at 650, we have another.
Quant, wait for some consolidation and a pullback.
Yep.
The RSI is still very high.
For
gains,
the,
especially during the
the
bear
traders,
market, when it seems that all we've been able to look forward to is more and more red. But if you're interested in Quant, wait for some consolidation and a pullback. The RSI is still very high, and I believe we're still going to see more downside in the crypto industry as a whole before the end of the year. However, Quant is trying to get above its 200-day simple moving average. If it succeeds in the middle of a deadly crypto winter, that could foreshadow some pretty big things for Quant. Also keep in mind that 83% of Quant's overall supply has been minted, but that supply is relatively low in comparison to other projects. So Quant is potentially susceptible to pump and dump whale shenanigans.
Okay, so yeah,
Very
this is one of
the boss.
Yeah, this is one of the most made mistakes, I think, regarding to Quant. 100% is minted, people. 100% is circulating or unlocked, whatever term you want to use. There are 14.6 million tokens. Initially, there were supposed to be 45 million. The vast majority never got minted. ICO didn't sell out. Team had a uneven, unequal, unfair percentage of the supply, in their opinion. So they created a burn contract. They sent 9 million tokens there. Leftover supply, 14.6 million. Current distribution, 1.2 million tokens in the founder's wallet. There was a wee little transaction that's been done. What was that? Maybe a month or two back, of 70,000 tokens, something like that. Otherwise, the wallet is practically untouched. But that is 1.2 million tokens in the hands of the team. But besides that, everything is out. Everything is in our hands or in custody hands, and everything is minted. There is no inflation on Quant. It is done.
No.
It is over.
Yeah, that's the most insane statistic.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it's well the most brilliant tokenomics I've encountered so far in crypto. So
yeah, there's no doubt that I actually explained this to one of the comrades this afternoon. It is not only the license fees that makes Quant profitable. That's a very big misconception. See, Quant not only provides overledger network for which the clients pay, apologies, they also offer consulting services, and they have specialists that do advisory work, which is also kind of a way of consulting. But they're also being asked for several committees and other gigs, so to speak. Then we have obviously the network operations themselves. There will obviously be some profit for them, for people using the network. In the future, there will be the premium APIs, as they call it, or the premium NDApps, or whatever they're going to create, that will also be on a paid plan. They're also gaining revenue from, so lost my train of thought there, just blanked.
It's okay.
I'll come back to that. But what is most interesting is that all these things have an effect on the tokenomics, or sorry, on the token supply. And as a result, you're going to get an ecosystem where they are incentivized, the team, because they always have tokens in the back. So Bitboy buys a license, he pays those tokens, the fees that he pays become converted into tokens. Those tokens get locked for a year. That means that their payment in a way is postponed for the year. So technically they're gambling on their own network. So that is an incentive to keep getting new customers and making sure that tokens keep circulating. Because if that doesn't happen, and there's little traffic, price could go down, as we have seen this year, meaning that they would actually lose money potentially on a license. And a Bitboy license will be a couple of K, but an Oracle license, well, that will be a couple of millions at least.
Yeah.
So what happens is the more clients sign up, the more tokens get locked, the fewer tokens are on the market. Quant needs to buy tokens, so they need to pump price because they have to get the tokens. And then the tokens are also needed within the ecosystem. And since there's no inflation, there's a fixed supply, and they also gain fiat income from their consulting and their premium apps and all those collaborations that they do. It's a pretty interesting company. And if they keep producing what they're doing and doing their updates, really hard to not be profitable. And it is nearly impossible for the token to not appreciate in value, looking at how many tokens there are and what they are used for, and actually how incestuous the system is, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I think to get it back to the video of Bitboy, what he still says, and I think he watched the chart where he is going to do that in the part that comes after this. He said there is still a chance for Will shenanigans, and there is somewhere in this video that he showed the chart of us dropping back from the $400 mark back to $40.
Just be careful out there, guys. But remember, when in doubt, zoom out. Never fails. Quant has enormous potential and was over $400 during the bull run. Even its current price is a good bargain. That's why we always recommend dollar cost averaging. If you sit around waiting to buy the exact bottom of a project, you might just end up like this guy. Maybe don't go all in, but take a little nibble on that price. Descending waterfall buy orders never hurt nobody. So what do you guys think? Are there...
Agreed.
What's that?
Agreed. I agree.
Yeah, I agree as well. I think overall, it's a really good video. I think he compacted a lot of information. I think he presents us with a lot of bullishness. I think it's a good pace in a way, because I was playing it at 1.5 speed. Well, we went to it yesterday, not today. I hope not, I think. No, normal speed. So yeah, cool video. A few little slip-ups. Perfect. I love it.
That's okay.
I love it. He actually gets like 1,000 views a day right now. Yesterday was at 37 something. I was at 38 something. 40K views ish. That's pretty good for a video of freaking 3 days old.
It is, and I mean, I think it's kind of impressive for people to just pack these crypto projects into 8 or 10-minute videos, because we definitely, Jarno and I wouldn't be able to do that. We would either go, well, and be very, very flat in our analysis and just say, yeah, it's trash. Or on the other hand, we start somewhere and we just start talking, and you will lose us in the next couple of hours. So I really admire those people who can keep it short.
Yeah.
On the other hand,
his chat was probably either or scripted, which would be a lot of fucking work, or it was not scripted, and then you just talking for an hour, and then you cut everything to size, which is also a lot of work. But it's what audience do you cater for? Are you catering for the passerbys, or are you actually catering for people that looking for more of the in-depth, a little bit the Warren Buffett way of investing? So yeah, it's
of course, and I agree with you, because, well, if Greg makes a video, he cuts and pastes it in such a way that it will work at the end of the day. Yeah. It's not our style, but I really admire those people who do that. And the risk of that, though, is that you're being too short-sighted. I think at some point in that video too, he said that because of the latest maintenance release of Overledger, the price is now going up because it is making Overledger more stable. Like, what? It's just a bi-weekly update. It's nothing special, right? Don't try to draw any conclusions from just very small bits of information. See the bigger picture. He sadly didn't, for example, tell us anything about the bi-weekly structure and updates that we see from the team, which is admirable, if you ask me. Those patches and updates, they keep pushing. It's insane. Okay, enough shilling.
The only organization that has more predictable updates than Quant is the Quamfy show.
It's the Quamfy show.
Every week, twice a week, once a week, on Friday.
6 in the morning.
Once a week.
Central.
On Wednesday,
European
6 o'clock
time.
sharp. If freaking Podbean cooperates.
Yeah, YouTube does, but Podbean
yeah, they're a bit
can be a
lagging
pain sometimes.
Yeah, they're partnered with ZIGGO, I heard. Anyway, I am toast, Tim. I am fucking wrecked. But here we go on the tweet by R3.
You're wrecked. Okay, yeah. Well, to be fair, I'm also kind of toast. But let's do the DTCC and then cut it short for this episode. Shall we do that?
Sure. Okay. So what are we seeing here? We're seeing a tweet by R3 today. Well, not today, the day of recording, the 24th of August. Have you seen the news? The DTCC at _DTCC selected R3's #Corda as the underlying DLT for its project Ion settlement platform, which is now live in a parallel production environment, processing over 100,000 transactions per day. Read all about it here. So I saw this on my feed this morning. Hold on, let me quickly undocked because I was browsing through Council a little bit. Oh yeah, good thing I undocked. This is not for the interwebs. So it's all Tim's nudes he sent to me.
Did I? Shit, I thought it sent them to someone else.
Yeah, I know. I saved your hide there. So Council, ladies and gentlemen, Council of Quamf FA all day. Link is in the description. Channels by Dr. Puppers. Beautiful resources. This is the have a free chat and some shits and giggles version of Council of Quamf.
Yep.
Which is actually like the base layer, and this is the discussion part. It's beautiful.
Usually one of the most convenient chats to read on Telegram, for me at least. On the other hand, they can also sometimes go a bit too much into depth and I lose them. Yeah. The best chat on Telegram is still the Dutch chat, in my opinion. Yeah.
Okay. So Quant Papa on fire lately.
Yeah.
sharing
Gassen
a
met die
lot of
kwanters.
sharing a lot of stuff, tying things together. So what we're seeing on the screen right now is a cutout screenshot from DTCC, and it reads planning for T+0, and it says despite advances in technology, accelerating settlement beyond T+1 is aspirational at this time due to market structure and convention. However, DTCC's project ION envisions an alternative settlement process flow that digitizes DTC eligible securities on a DLT and offers optimized processes and the ability to settle on a T+0 cycle, all while retaining the core benefits of its centralized netting and risk management. Because the platform will be asset agnostic, it could potentially manage any form of asset transfer, ranging from registered securities and cash to private market securities, digital tokens, cryptocurrency, and central bank digital currencies, amongst others. This sounds very familiar. It's obviously not a coincidence that this is being shared right here. So if we're going to the next one, we're going to see some highlights. This is from Quant themselves. With Overledger 2.2.2, and the developers can now deploy Tier 2 QRC20 secure smart contracts on Ethereum, Robston testnet. QRC20 tokens will be blockchain agnostic. Next screenshot. Designed for the future with our blockchain agnostic approach, also by Quant. Overledger, the world's first blockchain agnostic API gateway. While ERC20 tokens are designed for deployment on the Ethereum network, QRC20 tokens will be blockchain agnostic and work across multiple distributed ledger technologies. Standards that work for the technology we are building. It's an agnostic approach that can connect a wholesale CBDC. Their experience and network will allow Quant to take its technology to new markets and institutions to transform the US financial system to be DLT agnostic, interoperable, and benefit from digital assets that complement the existing system. Another agnostic. And the fragmentation of platforms, this is something else. So the term agnostic is well, pretty common in the Quant vocabulary.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And if the bar for the Zoom can go out of my screen right now.
Still there?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the bar to leave my screen, but
I was scared of you slipping away yet again.
I knew that would happen. Okay, so first, let's have a quick peek at what DTCC does. So I'm on their homepage right now, DTCC.com, and when I hover over products and services, we see institutional trade processing, clearing services, settlement and asset services, wealth management services, repository and derivatives services, and data services. Each of those have a ton of registered, copyrighted, things besides it. I'm just highlighting it on the screen right now. I'm not going to read it all. It's a ton. But these guys are the bee's knees. These guys are around, and they are in bed with a lot of folk. So blanking again. I need to get to bed. Actually, I'm not going to do it. Let's see. We'll just skip through this. If you want to go look through the website, link is in the description, or dtcc.com if you can't be bothered. So what we see here is the press release that was actually named in the R3 tweet that led to here, also on dtcc.com/news/2022/August. So on August 22nd, DTCC's project ION platform is now live in parallel production environment, processing over 100K transactions per year on DLT. Project ION represents one of the largest DLT initiatives in equities settlement across the financial services industry. DTCC has selected R3's Corda as the underlying DLT technology for the Project ION platform. If you want to have a laugh, go look up Son11. You know Jarno very well who he is on Twitter. go look up Just the Tech Guy, because there were obviously a lot of people shouting, "This is XRP. This is XDC. This is no doubt. This must be Interledger Protocol. Who else owns the money?"
It makes a lot of sense, right? Because, well, XRP is going to bank all the banks.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
Yeah, then it must be XRP.
Yeah.
Turns out it isn't. And Corda made a little announcement.
Yeah, there was actually somebody that had sent them an email or a message asking how they will settle. And for now, that they shared that they settle in US dollars only, and that there are no plans for using crypto or
no.
Yeah. And they said there are also no plans for this because we're waiting for CBDCs or the digital dollar to do that. It was actually in my taskbar. We went about this yesterday, and hold on, maybe it's still in the metadata. Everything is doxed. What was the guy? No, we're not going to the Fly Soldier.
We're not gonna do that again.
No. Come on. Digital fucking yeah. So I believe it was this one. Yeah, here. For what it's worth, I sent an email to the DTCC yesterday, excuse the typos, lol, on the heels of the announcement of the partnership with R3 Project Ion. I received the following response this morning from their executive director. The bio is attached. Any thoughts? So he sent this message: congrats on your big announcement to move to T+0 on settlement times. Big step forward and long overdue for the industry. My question is, will digital assets be a viable option for settling these transactions? And if so, which ones? XDC and XRP are the ones that come to mind for me. Currently, that's the response by Abel John F. Currently, all trades settled in DTC settle versus US dollars. We're exploring expanding that to stablecoins or a US CBDC, should one develop. But there is no timeline for those changes at this point.
Yep. Interesting.
Mic drop. Yeah, it's not surprising at all, isn't it? Why the hell would you be a company that large and risk fucking around with holding XRP or XDC or whatever?
Yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense at all. And then,
No, man. I mean, with the token distribution alone, that's just a giant red flag, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Then the Corda stuff or Project Ion.
Well, what is interesting is also this. This is Fnality. This is also August 24th. We are thrilled.
I didn't know this.
We are thrilled to have collaborated in the development of @the_DTCC'S Project Ion platform. While Fnality Payment Systems is an Ethereum-based system, DTCC's Project Ion platform is underpinned by Corda's DLT. Read more on our collaboration below. Oh, and there's a comment by Just the Tech Guy. So you connected Ethereum with Corda, huh? And then he had like a halo emoji, which you can see here. Wonder how they did that, says Viking FB fan. And Lord Quantonian Chectoria Longhold said, fire. Yeah, I wonder how they did that. Oh yeah, so now we're getting to this again. This is too much for now to go through. But they've been working together and they have been investigating together. Other names that we see dropped here: collaboration with many of the world's markets participant technology provider firms, including Apex Clearing, Barclays, BNY Mellon, Charles Schwab, not related, Citadel Securities, Citi. That's the usual suspect. Credit Suisse Securities, USA LLC, Fidelity Investments, Fnality International, Goldman Sachs and Co., JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Co. Raymond, James Financial, Robinhood, State Street Corporation, and Virtu Financial. which are pretty big names. And
Probably
maybe you
nothing.
guys another merely accidental coincidence.
Exactly.
Exactly. So this Fnality, Gilbert has written in main. Everybody has seen this. Yes, we speak to Fnality a lot. They're a settlement solution. We can interoperate them with, and the last bit I'm blanking on. But yeah, I think Gilbert is literally underselling that a little bit, which is also extremely bullish. So if we do the math and we see the Fnality, we see the R3 Corda, we see obviously just the tech guy. You connected Ethereum with Corda, huh? And the fact that they can apparently interoperate everything, stable coins and stuff, with US dollars or with what they have right now. And who's doing that? It's not XRP. That got confirmed as well. So yeah, it's I'm not saying it is, but if it walks like a gill, smells like a gill, and sounds like a gill,
It's probably Martin Hargreaves. Yeah,
say
no,
what?
yeah. No, it's really interesting stuff. I kind of saw this DTCC thing, but I just, well, not just because of technical difficulties. We've been talking for quite a bit and actually waiting for each other quite a bit all in the background. But a couple of hours ago when we did the preps for this episode, I just told Jarno I'm kind of facing this kind of lead fatigue, would translate to in English, like the fatigue of just knowing how Overledger works, what the scope of the project is, what our verticals are, and then you see another lead, you're like, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Just add it to the pile. It's the same in the Dutch group today. Somebody was asking the 430,000 customers that Oracle has. Do those numbers include Azure? Because Azure is obviously now integrated with Oracle, or is that separate? And I was like, who cares? Well, Azure is fucking huge. They probably have a fuck ton of clients, but it will just be another drop in the bucket. So it feels, at least. I mean, there are so many leads already to make us all millionaires over and over, that I agree. It is it's getting more and more difficult to remain curious, if that's the right word, into what is going on. And obviously we're doing this and we love doing this, but it's without I don't know. I like the digging, I like the speculation.
Definitely, and the same goes for me. And seeing Citibank here popping up again in such a pilot as this, that kind of reminds me of Project Spunta, which connects these Italian banks with SIA and Nexi, is something similar. I mean, it's this settlement technology, and we're just seeing all those, well, retail and well, investment banks of moving towards adopting these DLT platforms to fix their settlements. It's just a macro trend that we can't stop anymore, I think. And we know what the suspect is to interoperate all of them. And it's just one vertical, really, and it's madness. Moby, I was driving my car today, and even though it's the newest generation Toyota Aygo, the Aygo Cross in Europe, and even that car already has like adaptive cruise control and lane assist. But even on such a cheap Toyota, you already have like a autonomous vehicle that can just, if I drive on the highway, it just rolls. I just only have to touch the screen, and it does everything for me. And I'm like, what? Are we already at this stage of technology that even cheap Toyotas already can do this? Can you imagine when all those cars are being connected, how much data we need and how that is all going to be processed through internet and
and
it needs it's going to be insane.
It needs to interoperate, and it needs to be instant with the interoperation.
Yeah, when you use your watch and you just do this and beep, that's your payment. We are just going there now, and I think it's going to be fascinating stuff to watch.
for sure.
Okay.
I want to close
Done.
with I want to close with this because this is relevant, and then we're gonna stop this. So what you see here, 1 week from today, on August the 31st, we'll put the link in the description. 1300 in London, a panel, the multi-chain future, side change, layer 2s, and the merge. Our head of innovation, Dr. Luke Riley, is a panelist on itsa-global's webinar, the multi-chain future, sidechains, layer 2s, and emerge on Wednesday, August 31st. Good to see your agenda. I think it will be pretty interesting, could be pretty interesting. And there's also information about the merge. We have spoken, Tim and I, if we are going to discuss the merge. And
So much.
as much you're going to Germany, so now and I actually did a little bit of reading on it. I cannot talk with any authority on anything pertaining to those topics. I did some reading and it just doesn't interest me at all, which doesn't help. And they're talking about all these terms that I then need to Google and learn just to present this to you, and I will still do you a disservice because after that reading and stuff, it will probably still not be an adequate depiction of what is actually going on. So I highly recommend reading up on that. If it interests you, I am not worried at all, even though I just said I have no fucking clue what's going on there, but I have no fear that tokens will be lost. I have no fear that shit will be sabotaged or will die, or that people will lose their tokens. I think there snapshots are being made so regularly. I think Gil will most definitely have thought about that. In Gil we trust. I don't personally see any issues there.
It's one of those many FUD things that we encounter during a Quamfy show calendar year. We should make a list of all stuff of possible FUD.
Okay.
I think
Calimeros, man.
In the future, some like media students are going to analyze this, or economics students are going to do research on us, like how many times we predict something and whether we are wrong or right. You can make an Tim and Jarno ETF in the future.
Oh yeah, it's counter indicator.
A counter indicator of us, and also all the FUD we encountered and how many times all the FUD was wrong. It's really interesting. China banned Bitcoin many times during this show. The SEC was on many people during this show. We've encountered some stuff.
Quant has been a security many times over.
Yeah.
Even some of the biggest brains in our community, not going to be naming names, we're convinced. We're convinced that Quant had to be a security because the lockups and stuff weren't all not true. Blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
And
anyway, we are still here.
We are, and then a dying nobody was going to expose. That would actually have been juicy. Was going to expose a lot of crypto influencers.
Oh yeah.
Though Quant was kind of a thing, though. I mean, if you remember Luna, this token that was kind of popular.
He was gonna make die. Die will die by my hand.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway.
And on that bombshell, I think it's an episode. And we actually wanted to address inflation, but I'm toast. We'll do this some other time. No.
Sorry, guys.
I also completely forgot to post questions on Instagram. So it's a perfectly prepared, trashy, and ill-advised episode for you.
The usual.
And
I'm not wearing tank tops because all my tank tops are still in the fucking plane. I even wear the same t-shirt and the same pair of pants as I had yesterday because I'm poor sod and I'm too greedy to buy more clothes, especially since now I know that my suitcase is coming back.
Yeah, it's still in Scotland.
Yeah, I can wait. Doing laundry tomorrow again. Fuck it.
Hey, let's go on an episode, and we thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Press the notification bell. Follow us.
And thanks for donating. We actually already have received 3 donations, which is really cool. Some ETH 0.35 QNT a couple of weeks back, and 1 QNT a while back, which is really cool. And we really, really appreciate you guys. All the addresses, in case you're feeling it, is in the description.
Description.
This is the description. Thank you, guys. Stay Quamfy.
Stay comfy.
Cheers.
Cheers.